So good evening, everyone. Now, let's have a discussion on one more topic today, that is your ACI L2 Out. Now, what exactly this L2 Out, or you can say that external layer 2 out, what it is. So basically, you have your ACI fabric where you do have multiple spine and leaf switches right into the picture. This particular fabric is being connected via the APIC, where APIC is the one which is being controlling this complete fabric. Now what we want is that, let's say that to this particular leaf I have a server which is being connected, right? And on that server I am running a virtual machine. Now let's say it's a Linux machine or any other one. It's a Windows machine, and that is being managed via the vCenter. So for that you have to do the vCenter integration along with the ACI, so that your ACI can manage the distributable virtual switch. Along with that, it can manage the port groups with respect to that VM. Now, for example, that one more leaf switch I'm having where I'm going to connect, let's say, a Nexus 5K or any other switch, or let's say I have a router or any other device. But what I want is, I want a layer 2 connectivity between this Nexus 5K, which is an endpoint number A, and between this virtual machine, which let's suppose is endpoint number B. Between them, I want a communication to be done at layer 2. Layer 2 means that I don't want to perform any kind of routing. Okay, what I want is that the communication is going to happen over the same VLAN infrastructure. That is nothing but your external layer 2 out, where you are doing the layer 2 representation by using the bridge domain. Okay, for that you have to create the domain, you have to create the attachable access entity profile. So let's say for this endpoint I have given a static VLAN which can be VLAN 100, and also I have taken that this virtual machine is also being configured over your VLAN 100. When in the same VLAN, and for example the IP address which I have given to this VLAN 100 for your Nexus 5K is, let's say, 172.16.1.50. And over here for this VM the IP address is 172.16.1.100. Okay, so what I'm trying to have a communication between same subnet from 1.50 to 1.100. In your L2 out, you cannot change the subnet. So generally, what is the use case if you understand this lab? The use case, let's say that you have your legacy network in your data center. Okay, now in your legacy network, you'll have multiple switches, routers, firewalls, load balancers. You might be having the servers, you might be having the virtualized servers over there, and you want to have the slow migration from the legacy network towards your ACI fabric, and still want to maintain the networking which is independently or individually going on with the legacy. Now, obviously, migration process is not a 1 minute or 2 minutes job. It takes months. It takes 6 to 12 months. Hopefully an year if your data center and the networks are big. So in that case, you can do the migration. Still your legacy network will be able to reach out to the infrastructure network without any issues. And on side by side, you can also perform the migration where you are just communicating the external devices. So this is your external device. This particular device is not being managed by the ACI fabric, and still with that you are having a communication with your virtual machine which is being present over here. This is your L2 out. So over here you will not be configuring any kind of network, you will not be configuring any kind of routing to be performed. Okay, you will not be sharing between the two VRF. What you will be doing is nothing but bridge domain. The concept which comes over here is your bridge domain. Okay, so we'll be creating a bridge domain. That particular bridge domain is going to create a subnet for us, and that subnet will be lying onto this relevant leaf switches, acting as a gateway with respect to both the VM, both the IP address 172.16.1.100 and 172.16.1.50. And the gateway, let's suppose I take over here as 172.16.1.254/24. Okay. This gateway, this bridge domain subnet, along with that, there is going to be an anycast gateway MAC address as well. And this is going to be stored where? Onto the relevant leaf switches where your endpoints are being connected. So now, as per the configuration, what are the steps? First of all, you have to define the access policies. Now, what exactly are access policies inside your ACI? Access policies are somewhere going to define that how this particular leaf switch, with what interface it is being connected to that server. Do we need to enable the LLDP service? Do we need to enable the CDP service? Am I doing any kind of max security? Am I doing any kind of .1x authentication? All of that policies will be defining that what is the interface which is being used? What is that leaf switch? Leaf number 3, leaf number 2, or leaf number 1? All of that you will be defining in the access policies. Once that is being defined, your second part, you will configure the tenant. Under the tenant, so let's say I have created a tenant with the name of L2 Out. Under that tenant, I'll be creating a VRF with the name of L2 Out. Under that VRF, after this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an application profile, and in that application profile, there will be a EPG that is going to be defined, which is nothing but my virtual machine. And on the second end, after defining the tenant, there is one more tab which comes called as networking. And inside that networking tab, I'm going to define the external L2 out domain, external L2 out service. And in that wizard, I'll be defining that how my leaf number 2 is connected with that external device, which is Nexus 5K, which ACI is not being able to manage. What is the port which is being used? Let's say interface 1/10 L2. I'll be creating the policies for that, and once that is being defined, my L2 out EPG will be defined with respect to this Nexus 5K, and that's all. And then you'll be having the communication from 172.16.1.50, which is belonging to that 5K external device, towards your 100. Okay. In future lectures, I'll be giving a practical demonstration on how your L2 out is going to happen within the ACI. We'll be testing with one of the VM as a EPG and the other VM as a physical device, as an external device. And let's have the connectivity, and let's understand that how exactly your migration process is going to work in the longer run. So thank you for watching this. Watch more videos further coming, and for sure we'll be doing one of the practical scenario for this. So for more insights, you can subscribe to our channel, and for the further more videos just like that in the ACI, like your DSCP, L2 out, L3 out, practical demonstration, just stay connected to the YouTube and we'll be getting all the knowledge. Thank you.